Hello, I'm Nafeesah Muhammad, and I am a teacher at Patrick Henry High School. And I'm also working as a consultant with the Phillips Family Foundation around these Genius and Joy grants. And so today I wanted to talk to you about why Genius and Joy, or how Genius and Joy is connected to culture responsive teaching. Goldie Muhammad, she does a really, really good job in her book, Cultivating Genius, of setting us up to understand that connection. And so I wanted to do that with you as well to better understand how these projects are connected to Genius and Joy, but how it also is considered culture responsive teaching. Goldie Muhammad, she starts off talking about how culture is a set of shared and common beliefs, right? Models for how you live your life. And then she also goes on to talk about how the responsive part happens when teachers incorporate their students' culture into their teaching as an asset in the classroom rather than some kind of like deficit that they need to overcome. Okay. One teacher is doing a connection between neuroscience and the TV show, the movie, The Last Airbender. They're using this concept of earth, wind, and fire to talk about how those are like superpowers for our brain and how that works. And even to take it to the next level of criticality of like what gets in the way of our brain functioning the way it needs to function, what gets in the way of our clean air, what gets in the way of our sleep, and how that impacts how we think. That is being responsive. Another project looks like gardening. We noticed that North Minneapolis is a food desert. And so bringing this idea of cultivating the earth and the lands, that's a way to be responsive to the environment that our students find ourselves in. There's all these beautiful things that are happening as a response to how teachers, all students interacting in their environments, interacting in their classrooms, and they've decided to capitalize off of those shared experiences and in bringing such a beautiful experience to the students in North Minneapolis. Your responsiveness looks like SEL and has a cultural component, but Muhammad also reminds us that culture is a broad term. It is a shared set of common beliefs. So when you focus on culture, you get a twofer. One way is that you have all responded to the cultural traditions of Black and Brown and other students of color. So you're bringing this idea of communing around food. Maybe it's a basketball culture that they're used to, youth culture, capturing their neighborhood, the neighborhood culture. So you're doing that. You're learning about all these cultural things that the students, traditions that the students are bringing to you. So that's one win. And another win is that you're building culture. Right? You are building culture around gardening. You are building culture around reading and literacy. You are building culture around North Minneapolis culture. There's one program where they're taking students on an experiential tour around North Minneapolis so that they can experience their neighborhood in a different kind of way. That is creating culture. That is creating community. I wanted you all to see how you're ahead of the curve, how you have taken the time over the summer to be responsive, how you have considered the culture of your students, and how you're also building culture within this district, which we so desperately need. So I want to say thank you, and I look forward to continue to celebrate the greatness that you're pulling out of yourselves as well as your students. Happy making joy.